Why do the #1 archers in the world choose the proven brands of True Ball Release and Excel sights? Because they want to win.
I will prevail.
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 Welcome back to the 2017 Lancaster Archery Classic. My name is Chuck Cooley. I'm here with Teresa Johnson, and we are at our last match of the day. This is going to be the Masters Open, 50 and over. And again, this is the Lancaster Archery Classic. We're coming to you live through YouTube, through Lancaster.com. This is the True Ball XL Archery Hall at the Spooky Nook Archery Complex. I kind of like saying that Spooky Nook thing.
You really do.
By the way, this place is amazing. It's such
crazy.
an amazing facility. There's great restaurants out front,
A
beautiful
really nice hotel. Yeah, just a fantastic facility. And you know what we have really loved here is the size of the venue, the lighting. It's so professionally run, this event, and I think you are going to see a major rush to register for this tournament next year.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to pre-register as soon as it opens.
Me too. And
I think we might know a guy. We can probably slide our name in early. I don't know.
I don't know if there's any preferential treatment for the commentators. We have got the Masters Open Shoot-Up Final. This is our last match of the day, and it is going to be a good one. We've got Jim Gregory and Kent Stigall who are going to compete right now.
Now, Kent Stigall, both of these guys are really well known in the game, too. Kent, I know from online and, from the old archery talk days and things like that. Jim, of course, he's been around for a long, long time as well.
And Chuck, the distinction between the Senior Open folks that we just saw and Masters Open, now is this a 50-plus division?
This is 50 and over.
So we are going to see here again, we know age is no limitation in archery or in life in general. What a nice shot to open this match.
Never seen a green PSE expression.
Really steady here. Little shake.
Little rotate
now
there.
There's a lot of rotate and a lot of shake. And now he's going to be running on time, but look at that shot when he pulled off a nice shot. Now, Chuck, the clock is a consideration for these archers, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. 30 seconds per arrow.
And so if you get into a really long hold and you start to shake, you may know that you really don't have time to let down, meaning bring the bowstring back down to the bow and try to draw again. You could be in a time deficit situation.
Absolutely. Kent's laughing because he got away with one there. He's just getting, wow.
Look at that shot from Jim Gregory.
Just pounds
nice
it home.
shooting.
Yeah, you could just tell by Kent's reaction. He didn't think that arrow was going to be anywhere close, and it still held the 10.
This bow is a green machine. We've got green bowstrings. We have got nice, and there's a great 11. We've got green accessories accenting the bow. This, again, speaks to the fact that archers really like to accent their bow accessories with a specific color choice.
I don't ever want to hear that men can't accessorize. Because they sure can in archery.
They can and do, Chuck. This is an equal opportunity sort of thing in archery. And by the way, it looks like we're going to go out to Rob here.
I don't know how.
Well, you're getting the job done. Nice job. That Matthews that you're shooting, the black and yellow Matthews, that's kind of like classic, like a red Corvette. Yeah. It's a good-looking bow.
It's nice. It shoots nice, too.
All right. Keep her going. Kent Stigall. You've been here every year, I think?
I missed a couple of the early ones. I think it's about 10 or 11 now.
Yeah. Kent has become a really good friend of mine from Virginia. He's a good guy, works hard at the game. He helps to teach and promote archery like no other. Thank you for all you do, Kent.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay. We're going to roll into our next end once we get the target faces set. Excellent, excellent shooting. Got 32 apiece officially.
So, folks, we have a tied match here between Jim Gregory and Ken Stigall. And as Rob just said, Ken has been attending this tournament, I think he said 11 or 12 years. We are in our 14th year here at the Lancaster Archery Classic. We're in the True Ball Excel Archery Hall here at Spooky Nook Sports Complex. Brand new venue for this event this year, almost 1,100 archers. We are down to the finals, and what an event this has been.
Yeah, these guys are putting on a heck of a show all day long. It's been amazing to watch all these archers coming through the whole thing.
And we're excited to tell you guys at home that if you have been enjoying watching archery live all day, which I know if I were home, I'd be totally geeking out on the fact that I could watch archery all day. Well, guess what? You're going to get to watch it for most of the day tomorrow because we start at 8 a.m. with the shoot-ups, the shoot-up finals. We have got the pro divisions tomorrow. We've got the men and women recurve divisions tomorrow. And we've got the men's open and the youth open male divisions tomorrow as well. So we've got some big shoot-up finals to go.
Yeah, those are the big name events that a lot of people like to tune into. Personally, I like to watch a lot of these guys who have been around for years just because I enjoy them. Wow, what a great shot, Kent. Man, he's just center punching that. This is going to go right to the end unless somebody, it's basically going to be a mistake.
This is a fantastic match to watch, and these guys are absolutely drilling it right now. And it looks like he just caught that 11.
His
Boy,
top arrow might be just out of the X. It's probably going to be a 10.
and again, as we said earlier, we definitely cannot say that men do not accessorize their bows because there is a lot of color coordinating going on here today, and nobody is ashamed of it. These guys look snazzy. Their bows look awesome. People get really excited about the gear in archery. Tricking out your bow is like a huge part of the fun of archery.
You got to look good. You got to look good.
It's all about the gear. Now that is a low left 9,
that's a
and
9.
That will change the game a little
That's
bit.
going to change it.
3 fine shots. How you feeling up there?
2 strokes and a heart attack, and I'm fine.
I love it. I love it. Well, you're putting on a good show here. I see you're shooting a PSC bow, a brand new one.
Expression 3D.
The Expression 3D. There we go. You got a Shrewd scope, a Shibuya bar. You know, what stabilizer? Shrewd bars?
Stinger bar.
Bee Stinger bars, excuse me. And what release are you shooting?
I'm shooting a stand shoot off.
Stand shoot off. Very nice. Thank you for wearing our hat, by the way. All right. Arrow girls are coming back. Thank you. We're going to start our next end.
So if you folks at home are wondering why you're seeing these young people coming back with arrows each time, those are your arrow runners. They're basically retrieving the arrows from those who are pulling them down at the target, bringing them back to the archers. It keeps the match running on time. And also prevents the archers from having to go down their score and pull their own arrows. They each have an advocate down there who's working with a judge to make sure the arrows, the score of the arrow is determined fairly. We call that calling an arrow, and then making sure the scores are recorded properly so that any match win that happens here is all official and a totally fair win.
Big 3-point swing on that last end. Kent now enjoys a 3-point cushion, which is probably all it's going to be in this match. These guys are so evenly. Ooh, doesn't look happy, but dang, that's an inside the line 10 solid X, and he doesn't look happy about it.
Not a
He's
lot
got
of
his
movement
dot set
there.
really low in the bubble. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's a very interesting position for his dot, and I wonder why he's made that choice. He's out to the left there and shaking his head. So we'll
that
have
could
to
have been
see.
camera angle, because from this angle it looked like it was centered up.
We are at a 5-point difference here in this match. It's not insurmountable, but there's got to be a lot of 11 shot at this point, and that one's not going to do it.
Kent gets a 10. Probably out for a 9 as well.
And they're going to score it as a 10 conditionally. Now, here's Ken Stigall, and you gotta remark on the fact he just told Rob he's had 2 strokes and a heart attack. That, that's the difference here in the Masters division, is you see people with a little more life experience, right? A few more bumps and bruises, but clearly it does not stop them, because look at him hitting the 11 like he's never missed a beat. This is amazing. And just a little tall, but it looks like...
Jim, where are you from?
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Very good. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Have you been shooting for a number of years?
Several, off and on. Started back about 6 years ago.
Oh, very nice.
Before I got married, used to shoot all the time, and then after I got married, that took about a 20-year break.
You got to get your wife into it.
Yeah. I think
Well-
I should have took an extra blood pressure pill this morning.
Should have taken an extra blood pressure pill this morning, you said. Well, I see you're shooting a Pro Blade Rest, True Ball Excel sight. You've got bee stinger bars, I guess.
All of that come from you, Rob.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Jim. Shooting well, deserve to be here. Congratulations. Kent Stigall, you are just mashing the gas here. Another 32 in. Huh? Hush.
Hush.
Just keep doing what you're doing. He stutters a little bit, says, no problem. Hey, if you're shaking, they're going right in, so keep her going.
He's got an awful lot of weight on that back bar, too.
Absolutely, and that's a great point, Chuck, is stabilization of the bow is such a personal preference kind of thing. You talk to 10 different archers about how they choose to stabilize their bow, you will get 10 different answers about the right way to do it. Ultimately, it's really about what feels good to you, what gets that sight nice and steady for you so it's not moving up or down, the bow's not kicking side to side. Again, you're counterbalancing different aspects of the bow. For example, you're counterbalancing the weight of your sight. You're counterbalancing the weight of the rest. So it is definitely a personal preference thing, but you do see a lot of archers out here who like to run their bows heavy.
Yeah, wait till we get to tomorrow and you see some of the freestyle guys that
Absolutely.
are running just gobs and gobs of weight. Stefan's boat, he's got to have 20 ounces on the front. It's crazy.
And of course, Chuck is talking about Stefan Hansen from Denmark, one of our top contenders in the men's open pro division. You almost want to say it's amazing to see him competing in the men's division because he's almost too young to do it, right?
He looks
he's
like
barely 22 years old, I think.
I don't think he's ever bought a razor.
Potentially not.
He's got just the youngest face on him. Super nice kid. Really great shot.
And another class act, a world-class shooter. And here we are, speaking of world-class shooters, back with Kent Stigall. He was not happy about
might
that.
lose
Was
that
the
one.
face. That was a face for sure.
He might hang the hand. They're giving him the 10 on the scoreboard, but it's going to be a close one.
If I'm in Jim's position right now, I need to shoot as many 11s as possible, but at the same time, you don't want to be staring down that 11, putting a ton of pressure on yourself to shoot one. You got to let it come. You got to just execute a good shot.
Right. And that's going to close this match out. Kent will wind up moving on.
Nice shooting by both these gentlemen.
Very nice venue. I enjoyed it myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kent, go ahead. Jim says he wants a rematch at Indoor Nationals. Kent says, let's get it on. All right. Nice shooting, Kent. Way to go. How you feeling?
Nervous. Actually a little weak right now. We'll see how it works out.
Well, you had a nearly perfect game there, 129. 129. That'll play in the pro class in, any age group. It'll even play with the kids.
Yeah, that's right. Play with the kids. That's
Nice shooting. These are gorgeous red feathers you have on your arrows. They're beautiful.
Gateway feathers from Lancaster Archery.
Well, thank you, Todd. Todd's a sponsor of the Lancaster Archery Classic, and certainly appreciate the work that he puts into making perfect feathers.
So the man in the dark vest there, in case you didn't know, and by now you definitely should if you've been watching our broadcast, is none other than Rob Kaufhold himself with his wife Carol. He is the owner of Lancaster Archery Supply. And we have to say right now, proud father of Casey Kaufhold and Connor Kaufhold. Connor today won the youth male recurve division, made his dad so incredibly proud. And tomorrow, Casey will compete in the recurve women's finals. That's the adult recurve women's division. She's one of our top qualifiers. She's absolutely on fire. Shot her way through an incredibly difficult bracket today, and she's going to be competing against, 3 really challenging competitors tomorrow, including her hero, Olympian Mackenzie Brown.
That's going to be a really, really cool match. I can't wait to see some of these tomorrow. Now, what we've got here is obviously the start of our second bracket. This is Rick Smith. He was our number 2 qualifier, and because Rick is a higher seed qualifier, he had the opportunity to choose where he's going to start and choose whether or not he's going to start first or second. He chose to relocate Kent over to the next stage, and he also chose to go first.
Now,
he opened up with a 9 there, and we'll see how Kent does once he shifts over now to the other stage. See if he's still centered up and on fire.
Kent said in his interview with Rob that he was feeling a little weak. Well, he's
Didn't
not.
miss a beat there.
He's making a face at that shot, but I'll tell you what, he shot an 11. It looks great. Now we have to talk quickly about the importance of bumping your opponent over to another target. With each competitor who comes in to this match, or to any match for that matter, in this shoot-up finals format, they have that opportunity, of course, because they're the higher seeded archer. They can move the other archer over. As you said, they have the opportunity to shoot first. Let's see what Ken does here on the right side. Looks like it didn't affect him too much so far. He's out the bottom. I think he caught the 10.
That'll be close.
It looks like they gave him the 10 there. So the interesting thing about this is that the higher ranked archers are a little more well rested. They haven't been competing as long. There's an 11
Good solid
for
arrow.
Rick Smith. And again, you have your top seeded archer that comes into this match. They're only shooting 1 match. They're coming right in. They're relaxed. They're not tired. But the other archer has the advantage of confidence on the stage. And look at that. I think
That's probably in the 11. I think he
that
probably
one's
caught the edge
questionable.
there. They aren't giving it to him yet on the screen, but kind of looked like it was there. Let's see what Rob's got to say.
Thank you. It's a great tournament. Really fun to be here.
Thank you. Have you been to Lancaster Archery Classics before?
I have. I've been to 2.
Very nice.
Every event's been great. Really, really well-run shoot.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Where are you from, Rick?
Maine. Yep.
Another New Englander from Maine. That's quite a drive. Did you drive down or fly?
We drove down. Yeah, about 8 hours.
About an 8-hour drive. Okay. The girls are headed back.
we have to say, first of all, I just feel like I want to give a shout out to New England here because
You guys bring down a lot of shooters.
we do bring down a lot of shooters. It doesn't seem to matter to us how long the drive is. We know it's going to be a great tournament. It's January. And, it's funny. I think people, when this tournament first started, probably thought of it as a warm-up for Vegas. And now this is an equal contender. You look at Nîmes, you look at Lancaster Classic, you look at Vegas. They are all big, major shoots to get to.
Yeah, and what else is there to do in New England right now?
In January. Well,
Nothing.
cheer for the Patriots.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're wanting to get out of New England right now just so you can see dirt.
Well,
You guys
that's a
are
good
buried
point,
under
Chuck.
snow.
Absolutely, that's a great point. Well, there's no snow here in Lancaster. I think just a few,
beautiful.
like an inch here and there on the side of the road, but otherwise there's no snow this year. Beautiful weather. We've been really fortunate with this tournament, and Ken Stigall is really fortunate. Looks like he caught
think he's
the
gonna
top
have
of that
that.
11. Shaking his head. He's sighing, but it looked good. Yes.
Yeah, they're giving it to him on the screen now.
Here's Rick Smith. Let's see what he puts down there.
Tall 10.
And Chuck, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't had a shoot-off yet in today's finals.
We've never gone past the 4 prescribed ends for a shoot-off.
It would be, of course, we'd hate to do it to one of these competitors, but it'd be a
That's
lot of
gonna
fun
be
to
a
watch.
10. It would be fun to watch, and honestly, I'd have to look up the exact procedure. I think it's going to be the same procedure as they went through this morning. If it is, then it would be 1 arrow end for score. If the score is tied, then they'll do another arrow. If that second arrow is a tie, then they would go to a 3rd arrow and measure it for closest to center for the win. That's how they did the brackets this morning, so I would expect that they would finish them off this way this afternoon.
And of course, for those of you who are a little newer to archery at home, a shoot-off refers to what happens when there's a tie. So a face from Ken, but he's got a 33 down there. So
he's got the most unhappy face in the world for center punching an 11. I think, of course, he's shooting a PSE 3D. You know, typically that's known as a 3D bow. It's, you know, it's a speed bow. It's a little faster. Kent picks up another point there, 33-32 over Rick.
This is a 3-point match. Let's see what Rob has to say.
About 8 years.
About 8 years. Very good. Excellent shooting. Okay, we'll see what the results bring. This is a tough division. You guys are making it tough on each other. No gimmies. Waiting on a call here on that arrow. Okay, it looks like we've got one more end. And it looks like it's 65-62. Ken has had 32-33 to Rick's 30-32. So it's two more ends.
So a little bit of a gap there while we let the judges get in there and get a good solid look at that arrow. You know, it's important. We talked about how they want to score, you know, arrows earlier today in our broadcast. And I thought the way that it was worded to me was really important, and that is that they want to protect the archer's score, which means that the judges are looking for a way to not call the arrow out. You know, hey, if they're going to look at it 3 different ways, they're going to look at it with a magnifier, they're going to look at it with a light, and if for any reason they think that arrow is in, they want to give that point to the archer because they've earned it. So it's not a take points away thing, it's a give them the point they've earned thing. And the protect the archer's score I thought was important. And you see they changed out Kent's target because they had to give a hard look at that line. They thought that line was in poor condition.
Well, Kent opened up this end with an 11. Really good shot. Again, a serious face from Kent after the execution of the shot. But he looked good. And
Nice.
Rick Smith is not letting up. So this is a 3-point match. You know, at this point, you don't want to give up any points. You really have to stay consistent. Little movement there on the bow arm. And he drills it. Nice shot.
Nice shooting, 11.
And Rick is just really solid, very quiet. There's a lot of calm coming out of this guy. He's not moving too much. But he's down
Just
at
missed
the
that low 10.
bottom right side of the 10.
Kent's got an opportunity here to really put some pressure on.
And he doesn't.
He catches the 10.
But he's out at the bottom left. And so this is an opportunity for Rick Smith,
He can pick up a point here.
which he really needs, frankly.
Yeah, he could cut it to 4 if he does this.
And he does.
And he does. All right, so it'll be a 4-point lead going into the last end.
This is the Masters Pro Division, right? You guys are shooting like it. Nice shooting.
Thank you.
Feeling good up there?
When I breathe, I'm good.
Okay. Keep doing what you're doing. Nice shooting, Rick. Man, that's solid. 32 apiece that end. Nearly perfect. Okay, we'll wait on the official scores and whatnot to come back.
And so now we're going to come into the last end. Kent has a 4-point lead. So if he keeps doing what he's doing, if he pops in an 11, you know, then it's pretty much going to be out of touch for Rick. Rick absolutely has to shoot at 33, and then he has to hope for Kent that he's going to miss 1 or 2 arrows.
And it doesn't look likely at this point, Chuck, because Kent has been on fire in this match. He has been improving with each match that he's shot.
Yeah, he hasn't missed much at all. I mean, he's come out of this one 32, 33, 32 so far in this match. And I think Rick, if he hadn't missed his first couple of arrows, he'd be right. Wow.
Boom, does it
Center
again.
punch that one.
Nice shot.
I think Rick's real trouble is that very first end when he came out and his first arrow missed wide to the right.
The
for a
reality
9.
is you can't afford in a cumulative score match. Now, if this was set system and we were talking about set points, very similar to tennis scoring, you know, the higher score gets a certain number of set points. You can come back from, you can miss the target, come back, win the
Still
match
come
with
back
a
and
lower overall score.
Right. I think Rick realizes right there now he's down by 5. He's probably out of it.
Looks like that one may have caught. It's hard to tell with the hole that was previously in the target. But credit to Rick because he looks very calm, very steady. There's not a lot of nervous energy coming off him. Whereas with Kent, it's all nervous tension. I mean, Kent looks stressed out after every shot, but he keeps pounding it. He looks really, really good.
It's going to be your winning arrow right there.
Yep, that's
Yep.
it. That'll do it. Nice shooting. And the pressure's off for just a minute.
He's got one more match to go. He's going to come up against Tony Harris, the #1 qualifier. Just hope Rick can finish strong here. And he does. Hits a 10.
Good shooting by Rick.
So this match will go to Kent Stigall, and he'll come up against Tony Harris. We'll get a few final words here from Rob before we go to that match.
Rick, we enjoyed having you. Heck of a show. Great shooting. Kent, I thought the last match at 129 was like near perfect. 130. You rocked it, dude.
Lucky.
Keep that luck. Yeah, nice shooting. Okay, step on down. We'll figure out where the next opponent wants to shoot.
And so now Tony Harris is coming out, and he's going to decide where Kent is going to start. Tony was your #1 qualifier in the Masters Open, 50 and over. We've seen Tony up here before as well. Excellent shooter. Now we'll see if he moves Kent over or if he leaves him stand on that bail.
This is going to be a tough match, Chuck. We've got two strong shooters here. Kent knows that he has been, you know, the pressure is on him to perform because frankly, he's done so well so far, but he is up against the #1 seed at this point.
Yeah, he shot a 130 in the last match, so that's pretty telling. I mean, he only missed 3 11s. In the match before that, he shot a 129. So Kent's clearly on a roll. But you know, Tony knows that before he walks in the door. He knows that Kent is absolutely on fire right now. So his goal is to come in and shoot really well and try to keep up, stay with him.
Which is going to be a tough thing to do.
Both shooting PSEs. No, that's not a factual statement.
Maybe
Kind of
take
looked like it.
another
That
look.
is a Darton.
Very steady, very calm, low.
Little low.
He's in the 9. So that's not an ideal way to open the match, but of course we've seen today over and over again that archers do seem to have nerves on the first arrow, and if that's the case, that's usually when they drop it out. And it looks like even Kent, you know, for him, he's been hitting the 11 all day long. He's got a 10 right now, but I'd take a 1-point lead in this match because you do not want anybody to get up on you at this point.
No, and Tony's got to be really happy about that it's only a 1-point lead and not 2 to try to get back right now.
However, he's not going to get anything back shooting 9s. That's a rough shot, and he knows it. He's shaking his head. He's not thrilled. He's got to pick up some 11s at this point to make up for those 9s.
Yeah, if Kent shoots an 11 here and starts to push that lead already, 2 arrows into the match, he could have a 3-point lead. It's low for a 10.
Looks like he just caught the 10, but that's still a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, Tony's really got to have an 11 here to stay comfortable in the match. That's a 10.
So let's see if Kent can put an 11 down there.
You see he reaches for the sight. So he was low, left, and he reached up and he gave it a couple of clicks.
So that's going to, what it's effectively going to do is cause him to move his bow arm and aim a little differently.
And
And
Kent
yes,
puts it in there.
look at that with the 11. And Tony knows he's got a little bit of a deficit to overcome. Let's see what Rob
3
has to
points
say.
after 3 arrows.
Congratulations for being the top qualifier in the division. What did you have on your qualification round?
I don't remember.
Don't remember, but it must have been very good. Well, nice shooting. Congratulations for making it through all the eliminations, and proud to have you here.
Thank you. You ran a good tournament.
Thank you. Have you been to many classics? First one?
First one.
First one. Will you ever come back?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How are you feeling up there?
Nervous.
That's normal. All right. Kids are on the way back with the arrows. Sheridan, thank you. Sheridan Colby Weaver.
How'd you like that to be the very first Lancaster Classic you come to, and you're the #1 seed?
That's absolutely a crazy turn of events, and can you imagine what that feels like to be on this stage? The whole thing has to feel surreal at this point for him. And then to be facing Ken Stigall, who, let's face it, is on fire today. This guy has been really unstoppable through all his matches. He keeps making faces at the way he shoots, and yet every time he does it, he shoots an 11.
Yeah, and he's motored right through the bracket. Now there's a high
looks
10.
like he's just out on the 10, yeah.
Came in as the #4 seed.
But he's got a pretty,
Now he's shooting for silver.
he's got a decent
Shooting
lead.
for gold.
And that's an
an
11.
X. Gets one back there.
So he closes the door. Well, I should say he opens the door a little bit. And it
That
looks like
is a
that
9.
is a 9. That's going to hurt.
Now, he can pick up 2 points here if he pops an 11, and he can put this back to a manageable 1-point difference.
And he does.
Wow.
Looks like we have a
Center
tied
punch.
match. So now the pressure is on Kent because this is a tied match. It can go either way, and it looks like it's a 10, and he is not happy about that, and certainly you can't blame him. The question is, can Tony get confident and start taking a lead here?
10, maybe an 11.
That one's close to call.
See the results, the official results, but we may have a tie on our hands.
Boy, he's leaning right
Could
down.
be an
taking a look
11.
at
It's
that.
right there. That's a nice looking bow you have there. That's a new Darton.
Vegas 3D.
New Darton Vegas 3D. Shoot through window. You've got a system by Davy's sight on it. What scope are you shooting?
LaParis.
LaParis bright sight scope and a tuner rest. Where are you from?
Southern West Virginia.
Southern West Virginia. Very nice. And shooting a Carter Ember 1 release. Well, welcome. I hope you make the trip up again. All right.
So Tony had an incredible round there to bring that back. 32-29 over Kent Stigall. Tied up the match. Really uncharacteristic for the way that Kent's been shooting over the last several ends, the last 3 matches, to come out with a 29. He's been shooting 32s and 33s.
It's a bit of a pressure cooker out there, Chuck. We're at, basically you're on the last match. A long day. These guys have spent all day thinking about this match. And they've spent all day, frankly, shooting to get to this match. So, you could see that they're getting a little tired. You could see that it's just the pressure getting to him. But he drilled an 11, and he needed an 11 right there. Good shot by Ken Stigall.
Yeah, he really did, and then he center punched that. That's an inside-out donut there.
And we've got an 11 from
Tie
Tony
game.
Harris. This is turning out to be one of the best matches we've seen.
Oh,
Ooh,
That's
that's
a
gonna
9.
hurt.
boy, you saw his hand come out. He knew that right away. That really got away from him.
So now you've got Tony over here who looks pretty calm, pretty collected.
He's got to capitalize.
And he does.
He
There's an
does.
11. This match really could turn right now.
Kent needs an 11 to really stay alive coming into this last end.
What a great match by these two shooters. They have absolutely treated these spectators to a fantastic archery show today. And it looks like he just caught the 11.
Probably going to have that there.
Now the question is, will Tony do it too?
So if he shoots the 11, he's going to hold a 2-point lead going into the last end.
And he does. Look at that.
Looks like Tony Harris is taking the lead by 2 points unofficially. Tony, that was a pretty awesome end there. Nice shoot.
Thank you, buddy.
Started to relax?
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Very good. Good looking end there. It's shaping up to be a tough match. Good shooting, gentlemen.
It's pretty surprising here. So, you know, Kent was completely in the driver's seat. I wonder if he's just thinking about it too much or if he's trying a little too hard. He didn't look super comfortable on the last few matches, but man, his arrows were landing dead center.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens here in this last end of shooting. It looks like they're changing out the targets. We have just got a fantastic match on our hands. These guys are treating the audience of spectators to some terrific shooting, showing us what the very best in our sport looks like. What a treat for everybody at home. They are getting a true archery exhibition today.
I'm glad our last match of the day is still this pretty exciting. If it was a blowout, I wouldn't be as excited.
Yeah, and it just shows, I mean, it's just such a testament to the caliber of shooter.
Tony
that's
elects
at
to go
this.
first here with a lead and put the pressure right on Kent.
And that's an 11.
That's an 11.
Nice
He's gonna do
shot.
it. So now he knows Kent's got to hit this 11 to stay in the match.
And really, he's got to hit nothing but 11s. He's got to shoot a 33. That's a tall order for any shooter. He looks pretty steady there.
10.
And he's out.
So that's going to be a 3-point lead now with 2 arrows left to go.
Very calm, very collected.
Wow.
11.
Man, that looked like a comfortable
What a
shot.
comeback. I'll tell you what, Tony Harris has not fooled around in this match, and he has come back really, really strong against a very difficult competitor. He's put pressure on Ken Stigall, and that is not an easy thing to do based on his shooting today. There's
That's
a
another
10 when
10.
he needed an 11. And you got to wonder at this point, Chuck, if it, you know, he did say earlier he was feeling a little weak. Is it just nerves at this point? Nat
That's another
looks like
11.
an 11. 33.
He made that last shot look very comfortable. And it's over for Kent. He cannot win the match at this point, but he's going to try to finish strong. Very
pressure is
first
off.
Lancaster Classic, #1 seed, and the gold medal winner.
And
Tall 10.
Tall 10. But hey, second place for Ken Stigall and gold medal. First place for Tony Harris. These two guys have to be proud of themselves. I know Ken's shaking his head. You got to be proud.
$50. I'll take it. That was a heck of a run. Man, you hung tough. Nice shooting. Champion, $1,250 for the weekend. Will you be back?
I'll be back.
All right. Thank you for coming up from West Virginia. Let's give them a hand. Thank you so much.